I do the show.
Hey Steve, what's the matter? You're not your usual chipper self today.
Well, Paul, thanks for asking, buddy. I've just been doing a lot of thinking lately. You know, I just finished doing this 26th annual, scholar athlete team, and you're just looking at, all this hard work I put in, and it's just all these kids, all these great student athletes. They've accomplished so much, and it just makes me doing a lot of thinking. What am I doing with my life? Am I giving everything I can to the more than the score and what I do here at my job? I mean, seniors, Kailani Beal right here took a poetry writing class at Loras and had 2 poems published in their Limestone Review. I mean, seriously, these are powerful poems, and we put one here in print. You want me to read it for you?
Yeah.
It's really inspiring. It's called The Lion's Son by Kailani Beal. Could we get like an African safari background? Maybe spruce it up a little bit?
No problem.
Okay, I like that. Okay, that looks good. Looks good. The Lion's Son by Kailani Beal. The lion's son, dirty-legged children, running about in bare feet, climbing to the top again, up and up and up, to meet the lion's son roaring from the sky. Colors streamed from the lion's mouth. He smiled, the blazing, unashamed colors escaping from beneath his teeth and leaping like licks of fire into the watching eyes. His grin was almost mad, a furious sort of glad. He was sinking and sinking. He didn't come up for air. The colors from between his lips interwoven with his hair. The lion's son. That is impressive, Paul, am I right? I mean, it's just inspiring, Makes you want to do something. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Telegraph Herald, More Than the Score. I'm your host, Steve Ortman. Alongside me this week, Tim O'Neill. Oh my God, no, it's not Tim O'Neill.
It's Brendan West.
Oh my gosh, I needed a break from Tim so bad.
Why is that?
Thank you, Brendan.
Why is that?
Come on, Brendan.
Yeah.
It's just how he is.
You know what? If I had to sit next to Tim O'Neill,
I had to call him He-Man once.
If I had to sit next to Tim O'Neill every day, at this desk, I think I'd be pretty sick of it too. So.
Yeah. So anyways, a welcomed relief. Brendan West. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Summer months are kicking off, and we got a lot of interesting coverage going on. So you've been busy. Obviously.
I have been busy. You've been pretty much twiddling your thumbs over there on your side of things.
Well, I mean, that's kind of. I'm a good thumb twiddler.
You are, I guess. But you're right. I have been busy. 26th annual Telegraph Herald Scholar Athlete Team came out this past weekend. As always, keeping me busy. Lots of files coming in, lots of nominations, making decisions, and I know you're dying to know what goes into making the Scholar Athlete Team.
Well, I tell you what, and all that coverage is in our past Sunday's edition of the Telegraph Herald. Lots of work, lots of content in there, and the thing I think that I really enjoyed reading about all these profiles of these different athletes is their ability. I mean, we're talking about some active kids who are good on the field, on the court, and in the classroom. And I know you were able to dig up some interesting stories. So talk to me about some of that. What sticks out to you the most about that?
Yeah, obviously the team is for recently graduated seniors, hold a 3.75 GPA on a 4.0 scale. And then obviously class rank, scholarships, extracurricular activities, varsity letters, all go into play here. For the female side of things, for the girls, we had 70 plus athletes make the team. On the boys side of things, we had over 40 boys make the team. So lots of information to put together, but a couple that stood out that we had on the front page was for Dubuque senior, Kailani Beal, a great athlete, played basketball, earned 8 varsity letters. And what stood out to me, when you're doing these stories, everyone's kind of got the great credentials, they got all kinds of things. You're looking for little interesting bits and pieces to feature. And with Kai, it was, she decided to take a poetry writing class at Loras College and really enjoyed it. It started her, and she had 2 of her poems published in the Limestone Review, which is a publication up there at Loras. And in that class is when she really decided she wanted to go to school at Iowa for English and creative writing. So kind of a cool story there.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I know I've talked to Kai after several different games too, and I just like that's what I thought was so fascinating about that story was, you're portraying these sides of these athletes that we're on the sidelines watching these things. We don't always get to see those
Right.
other extracurriculars that they're doing. So that was really interesting, and just how she was able to juggle that. What'd she have? Like her GPA was something in the 4s. I mean, it was something
4.2. Yep.
something crazy. Very active girl, and I just
That was like double your GPA in high school.
well.
Wow, kidding.
No, you weren't.
It was triple. No, anyway, but you look on the boys' side, Nathan Betts from Western Dubuque. He has his heart set on joining the U.S. Naval Academy. He's going to be applying again here in the fall to get in there. It's a tough process to get in.
Oh, yeah.
Unusual number of candidates accepted interviews here, so he didn't make the first cut. But he says it's his dream. He's always wanted it, and he's going to keep getting it until he reaches it. And he's a very determined young man. He earned 11 varsity letters with the Bobcats. Biggest accomplishment came in wrestling here his senior year. He didn't really have a lot of experience wrestling before freshman year when he decided to go out. And his senior year, he made it to state at 126 pounds, so a great accomplishment for him. And he also helped the Western Dubuque boys soccer team have a great season as well. So that's the amazing thing. When you're pinpointing things out, looking for interesting stories of what they accomplished, outside of sports, and you see everything they do, it's still really impressive what they're able to accomplish on the field.
Well, and one of the things that I enjoyed reading about that story too was I loved how there was like a theme to it. Nathan started off, as a freshman, sort of dabbling in wrestling and wound up excelling in that sport, and now he's sort of leaving high school, trying to get into the Naval Academy, and so it'd be really interesting to see what he's able to develop into with that. Sort of like starting from the ground and working your way up towards a goal. His goal was clearly to accomplish as much as he could in wrestling, and now, his goal is to accomplish as much as he can with the Naval Academy. So good for him, another stellar kid in our area.
Yep, those are the two front page stories. We also had a couple other kids featured as well. Cuba City's Anthony Ziliaks, he Special Olympics coach. He coaches in basketball and helps out there on the side, and also performed well in the classroom. You can say that about all these kids. They're doing things in the classroom, they're doing things in sports, but it's those little extra tidbits. And him being a coach for the Special Olympics really stood out. And then you've got Amber Brand and Katie Fritz from Southwestern. Been playing sports together. They really helped turn around things for the Southwestern softball team. And so they played a couple sports together, and they ended up being co-valedictorians together this year too. So kind of a cool deal there.
That's nuts, honestly. You were talking about Kai, her GPA being 999. I mean, if you add those two GPAs together, I mean, they probably, equate to bigger than the whole TH Sports staff. We got a couple brilliant kids there, don't we?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's always fun kind of putting things together for this team, but anyways, if you didn't get a chance to check it out, it's still at telegraphherald.com, and of course it was in this past Sunday's edition. But now that's in the past. We've kind of wrapped things up there. We're moving forward. I know you're not the softball guy, and God bless Tim, we love him, but he's not here tonight. But big matchup coming up, softball this weekend, this Saturday, Senior versus Hempstead in regional play. It's always exciting when city teams meet up in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can only equate it to what my beats are like, and when those city matchups or those local matchups take place, it's always a thriller. And from what I can tell, you can't count either of these two teams out. They both have some heavy hitters. They both have solid pitching, and I'm thinking it'll be a great matchup. So we'll see what Tim's able to dig up for us there. But I'm pretty pumped about it.
Yes, I'll definitely have that one covered for you. TelegraphHerald.com, as well as in the Sunday edition. I think they've seen enough of us for 1 week. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you guys don't miss me too much and you're missing Tim O'Neill, then I guess this is it.
All right, well said, Brendan. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Telegraph Herald. More Than the Score. I'm your host, Steve Ortman, alongside Brendan West. You stay good looking, Dubuque.